The knock that changed everything. Everyone thought that the Silver Fox's story had just begun. Yachts, champagne showers, private jets to Monaco, and after-parties with models who didn't even know where Brazil was on the map. He was the man of the hour, the millionaire turned magnate, the walking legend. Women whispered about him in salons. Men envied him in silence. Even the mayor once asked for a selfie, pretending not to notice the silver watch worth more than his house. But that night was different. It was a warm Friday evening. The Silver Fox was lounging in a silk robe, red and gold, of course, sipping some ridiculous drink served in a coconut with dry ice and gold flakes on top. Brazilian funk was playing in the background. His latest crush, a model from somewhere he couldn't pronounce, was dancing barefoot by the pool. Suddenly, knock, knock, knock. Not the kind of knock that says, "Delivery." Not the kind of knock that says, "Your Uber arrived." No, this knock was slow, heavy, intentional. His butler paused, the music lowered, the girl stopped dancing. "Expecting someone?" she asked, half smiling. The Silver Fox blinked. Not anymore. He stood, adjusted his robe like a king preparing for battle, and walked to the door. When he opened it, silence. No one. Just the night breeze and a single envelope on the floor. Thick, black, and sealed with a wax emblem shaped like a serpent wrapped around a coin. He picked it up slowly. His fingers trembled. And he never trembled. Not even when he faced bankruptcy or when he won his first million with a deal no one ever found out about. He opened the letter. It was just one line. "We need to talk. Midnight. Don't bring anyone. You owe me." No name, no signature, no location, just a card slipped inside the envelope, with an address written in silver ink. An abandoned mansion he used to know all too well. A place he swore never to return to. His face changed. The smile was gone. The playboy disappeared. For a brief second, the old version of him resurfaced. The broke one, the desperate one, the one who once begged for a second chance. The model asked, "Everything okay, baby?" He smiled, coldly. "Yeah, princessa, just a little business from the past. Return to the mansion of secrets midnight." The Silver Fox, now dressed entirely in black, drove a vintage Rolls-Royce Phantom through a winding road lined with trees that hadn't seen sunlight in years. The headlights cut through the fog like knives. His hands gripped the wheel, but his mind was back in that mansion. Back when he was just a kid with big dreams and no money. Back when that place was alive, not with ghosts, but with powerful men, secret deals, and whispered promises that always came with a price. That mansion wasn't just old, it was cursed. Not by spirits, but by secrets far more dangerous. As he approached the rusted gates, they creaked open by themselves. No guards, no lights, only the silhouette of the house, standing like a sleeping beast waiting to awaken. He parked, stepped out. The silence was so loud it made his ears ring. Each step toward the front door felt like a step back in time. He remembered that floor, the marble with a blood-red vein running through it. He remembered the paintings, all covered now. He remembered the mirror where he once swore he'd never be poor again. But what he didn't remember was the man already sitting in the dark. A man in a tailored gray suit, face half lit by the fireplace, with a glass of whiskey in one hand and a silver coin flipping in the other. "You came," the man said, without looking up. "I knew you would." The Silver Fox stood frozen. "After all," the man continued, voice calm but sharp as a blade, "I built you." The silence cracked like glass. "What do you want?" the fox finally asked. The man chuckled. "I want what I was promised. Your fortune, your silence, and your loyalty." The Silver Fox stepped forward. "That was years ago. I paid my price." The man stood, tall and calm like a serpent ready to strike. He walked to the window and pulled back the curtain. Outside, 3 black cars were parked, unmarked, silent, waiting. "You paid with ambition, but not with truth," he said. "You think people love you for your yachts, your women, your fame. Wait until they know how you really made your first million." The Silver Fox's jaw clenched. "You wouldn't," he said. "I might," the man replied, sipping his drink. "But I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here to remind you. I own you." Boom. Just like that. The legend, the playboy, the magnate, was once again a puppet. The room was spinning, not from fear, but from anger. "I'm not that man anymore," the fox whispered. "Then prove it," said the stranger. "Come back to the circle, one last job. Then I disappear." The silver fox stared at the fire. What was this last job? What if it cost him everything again? But the alternative was worse. The truth, if revealed, would end everything. One last job, or the last mistake. He didn't sleep. The silver fox spent the night pacing across the marble floors of the mansion he once tried to forget. That place had seen too much, and now it was about to see more. He poured himself a glass of something expensive, though he didn't even taste it. How had this happened? He was supposed to be untouchable now, a magnate, they called him. The silver fox who had yachts, private islands, women falling at his feet, and headlines that called him the man who rewrote the rules of luxury. But luxury had rules, and he'd broken all of them. By sunrise, he was standing on the balcony, shirtless, smoking a cigar that hadn't been lit in 10 years. The last time he lit one was the night his best friend vanished. He picked up his phone and dialed. No name on the contact, just "do not call." 1 ring, 2, then a click. "You're in," the man on the other side said. Not a question, a statement. "I didn't say yes," the fox replied. "You didn't have to. The minute you walked through that door last night, you were mine again." Click. The call ended, and just like that, he was back in the game. Later that day, he found himself stepping onto a private helipad in Rio de Janeiro. The chopper wasn't his. It was older, military-grade, blacked-out windows. Inside, 1 file, no name, no photo, just coordinates, a number, and 1 word in red ink: Valkyrie. Whatever Valkyrie was, it had power written all over it. But the real shock, he recognized the number. It was a Swiss account, his first account, the one he had shut down a decade ago, the one tied to the accident that made him rich overnight. He thought he buried it. But ghosts don't stay buried when they're worth millions. That night, the fox was back at his yacht. The Red Mirage. Parties had been cancelled, staff sent away. Only his old friend, Louise, remained. Louise had been with him since day 1, the kind of man who knew how to mix a drink while erasing fingerprints. "You look like you saw a ghost," Louise said. "I think I just did." Louise handed him a drink. "You want out?" The silver fox looked at the ocean, dark and endless. "I don't know what I want." Louise raised an eyebrow. "Then let me ask you something different. Are you ready to lose everything again?" Silence. "Because whatever this is," Louise added, "it's not about money, not anymore." Just then, a drone appeared on the horizon, small, silent. It dropped a package on the deck and flew off. Inside, a burner phone, a silver key, and a photo of the silver fox. But he wasn't alone. Next to him in the photo was a woman, smiling, familiar, dangerous. He hadn't seen her in years. The one person who could ruin him. She was supposed to be dead. The woman he buried, twice. Her name was Celine. At least, that's the name she used before she disappeared, the first time. The silver fox hadn't spoken her name in nearly 10 years, not because he forgot, but because she was unforgettable. She was the only one who ever outplayed him. Not a lover, not an enemy, something in between, like a storm that kisses you before it destroys your home. And now a photo, smiling, alive. Impossible, he whispered, staring at the grainy image. The timestamp was from 2 days ago. The location, Nice, France. But she died in Istanbul. At least that's what the explosion report said. He'd seen the flames himself, hadn't he? Louise stared at the photo, his face pale. If she's back, we're all dead, he said. Flashback, 10 years ago, a deal gone wrong in Marrakesh. A briefcase full of diamonds, a silver gun, and Celine, in a red dress, walking away from the wreckage like a goddess who chose chaos as her perfume. The fox remembered what she told him that night. You'll be rich, you'll be powerful, but you'll never own me. And she vanished, presumed dead. Now she was back, and she wanted something. That same night, the burner phone rang. No number. Did you miss me? The voice purred. Where are you? He snapped. Celine laughed, soft, seductive. I always hated yachts. You smell like old money and regret. Why now? Because you opened the door again. You never should have walked into that party. Now, we're all in the game again. I'm out. No, querido, you're in deeper than ever. And this time, I'm not saving you. Click. The next morning, the Silver Fox arrived at an abandoned casino on the edge of Monaco. Why? Because the key that came with the photo matched a vault in that very building. Inside, a briefcase, a note, and a photo of a child. The boy looked no older than 6. Same silver eyes, same crooked smile. He couldn't breathe. Celine had a child. His child. And now, everything had changed. The child with the fox's eyes. He stared at the photo. A boy. Silver grey eyes. Eyes that didn't belong to just anyone. Eyes that were his. He tried to steady his breathing, but every cell in his body screamed, "How long have you known, Celine?" No answer. Only the silence of the abandoned casino and the sound of waves crashing outside like they were mocking him. Inside the briefcase, cash, Swiss bank codes, a single chess piece, a white queen, and a GPS tracker blinking. One location, Casablanca. Luis leaned over his shoulder. This is a setup. He nodded. Of course it is. But you're going anyway. The fox smirked. Did you think I'd miss the chance to meet my son? Flashback. Celine again, her voice like velvet soaked in danger. If I ever disappear, it won't be because I'm weak. It'll be because I'm building something stronger than either of us. He never knew what she meant, until now. Cut to the yacht. Night. Monaco behind them, open sea ahead, and Luis loading the hidden weapons crate. You sure we're ready for this? He asked. No, the fox replied. That's how I know it's real. He stared out at the dark ocean. A woman who lied. A child I never knew existed. A fortune I can't control. And someone's watching me from the shadows. Because just before they set sail, a man in a black suit dropped a letter onto the dock. No words, just a symbol burned into the envelope. The fox and the queen. He opened it. You were never the only one she lied to. If you want to live long enough to meet your son, stay away from Casablanca. To be continued.